Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om. Mandukya Upanishad Mantra 7 directly talks about Atma, something that none so far ever, since the times are unknown, has ever been able to express about. No words can contain the definition of Atma. Yet, the learned ones, the exalted ones, through their different endeavors, have tried to indicate about it in their own manner. Almost in all the leading Upanishads, we find a mention to Atma. Not only that, even in the Prakarana Grantha, namely by Adiguru Shankaracharya Ji Maharaj, the Atma has been brought as a mention. Some attributes have been shared, but yet all remain totally inconclusive. Because something which is invisible, beyond any expression, cannot be connected, boundless, omnipresent. How can any word contain itself any justice to its existence? It's not possible. Mantra 7 talks about the fourth part of the awareness. In fact, it does not talk about the fourth part of the awareness or the fourth charan of the awareness, consciousness, but in fact, it talks about the Atma itself, the Turiya avastha, the state of Turiya. Turiya can be understood as a synonym to Atma. Let's directly get on to what exactly the mantra intends to convey. The mantra in Sanskrit is right before you at the back. You can see that in Sanskrit, but I would rather find it more comfortable to go down to the English part of it, where we have taken word by word translation that tries to do justice to the understanding which this mantra beholds. Let's go down to that. You can stay connected by reading this translation of the mantra, which I have tried to somehow weave by the understanding gathered through my experience of teaching Mandukya Upanishad and also the borrowed understanding from other exalted ones. Now, what about Atma? It is neither consciousness inward, nor it is consciousness outward, which means in the three earlier states of awareness, the Jagrat, the waking state, and the dream state, it is none of them. Atma, the Turiya, is none of them. Neither it is the waking nor it is the dream state. And it is also not the in between, the intermediary. You may also understand it as Sushupti. No, it is not. Looking on the both the sides, it is not. It's neither waking nor the dream state and nor the dreamless state. It is not. And not even that one should understand it as a mass of consciousness which is within itself. For example, if the sun, it unfolds its entire effulgence within itself, shall become a mass of light, a mass of effulgence. It's an imagination. No, it is not a mass of consciousness either, because it is woven into the entire creation. It's omnipresent. So, therefore, it can never become a consolidated mass of consciousness. It is not the all knowing, that it knows all. It's neither that it knows nothing. When we listen to these words, they appear to be quite weird. Where do they actually intend to conclude upon? It's not this, it is not that. Then where up to? That is the beatitude whenever any exalted one intends to convey about Atma. The best principle or the tool they deploy is leti neti. Not this, not this, not this. Anything that we can perceive, they give a denial to that. So, what is it being done? Uh, Understanding of the ordinary intellect is being removed from all of its holdings, whereupon it could rest and conclude, okay, this is Atma, or this could be Atma. No, neither of them, none of them. Not the all knowing consciousness, not the unconsciousness. It is invisible, unrelated, cannot be related with anything, like the sun in the sky is related to our solar system. So we say this is our sun. Whereas for Atma, it cannot be related. Something that is omnipresent, present everywhere, even in the most infinitesimal particle, it's there. Microcosmic, macrocosmic, everywhere. So, how can you just relate to it? You cannot confine it by any kind of relationship. It's beyond any perception. You cannot comprehend it. You cannot conclude upon it. You cannot perceive it. It's beyond your understanding, and you cannot draw any inference to it. For example, for gravity, we draw an inference. The gravity cannot be seen, but yes, the inference is you leave anything and it shall drop, because gravitational pull shall attract anything, and therefore everything falls within the atmosphere of the earth. Now, the gravity can draw its inference from such an example, whereas Atma cannot be associated with any kind of inference. It is beyond thoughts. You cannot think about it. You cannot think. It is so ineffable, beyond any description, that no words ever have been ever able to say with all conclusion, okay, this is actually Atma. No, nothing, nothing left. On this mortal plane, nothing at all could ever, has ever, and could ever be able to even approximate what it actually is. Beyond words, it is essence of all and is one, unitary. It is unitary one, and it's the essence of all, the source of all, everything that creates itself, sustains itself, dissolves itself into it. And that is ekatva, atmatva, sarvatva, saratva. Entire tumult of creation dissolves into it. This entire turbulence of the creation, the diversity of creation, the change in the creation, everything dissolves into it. Everything owes its origin to it and also finally dissolves, culminates into it. It is tranquil. This part of the mantra was, when we started upon with Vedanta Echoes, the foremost mantra that we had undertaken was the last part of it, the Shantam Shivam Advaitam. It is tranquil, blissful Shivatva. Blissful Shivatva means it conforms to the origin and is non dual. There are no two, cannot be divided. It's one. That is Atma, and it is to be known. Now, this definition, this small definition, which leads us almost nowhere, is has been expressed by a seer who stands at such a threshold where he has the ability to express in words, yet he or she is also able to experience that blissfulness of Atma. So, standing at the threshold in an intermediate state, witnessing it, experiencing it, and yet able to say something upon it. And what has been said is nothing. What has been concluded? Nothing, because nothing can ever be concluded upon it. It is beyond any description, beyond any mention. When you are it, then there is nothing that can help you to express it to other, to detail it about to anyone else. I also gave an example from this mortal pain, a very ordinary example, which I try to approximate the kind of compulsion, helplessness which any exalted one shall have felt while expressing about Atma. We all taste mango. For example, you confront a human who has never ever tasted a mango in his or her life. Now you embark upon with all your vocabulary, even to an extent that you are a doctorate in literature of any language, and that person is well versed with that language, can understand it well, and you start conveying how does the mango taste. Can you do justice to the exactness of the taste of the mango by mere words? Think about it. How does it taste? Sweet, sour, what more? Salty, spicy, what else? How many other kinds of words can you deploy to gather the absolute exactness of the taste of a mango? Believe me, you go on thinking. You cannot express and convey the other person the taste of a mango through your words by any voluminous compilation upon its definition. You can inform him how the mango grows, what all mango products are, where all and what all kind of varieties are there with the mango worldwide. But when it comes to the basic essence of the taste of a mango, everything else, then the taste itself shall fall short to do any justice. No justice shall ever be done. You need an actual mango to do justice to the taste of the mango. This is mango. The moment you put the slice of a mango upon his or her tongue, that suffices. Then no more words are required, nothing more than that. In turn, if you ask that same person, now that you've tasted the mango, can you express the same in your own words to the other person beside you who has never tasted the mango? Even he'll also go into silence. Mango is mango, silence. That is why the great exalted ones have always sided with the silence. As they say, in silence it is conveyed, in silence it is understood, in silence it unfolds, in silence it dissolves. Nothing more in a silence can ever, shall ever be able to communicate, convey, express about Atma, which here has a synonym by the name Turiya. More to come in this series of Vedanta Echoes. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shantihi 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 Om.